really crispy today. I don't know why. Hello, welcome. I don't know who's here, but it does look quite shiny. Could be the lighting. I wanted to be outside today, but they were power washing, so I figured I'd come inside for a little bit. Welcome. Hi, I'm Zen, and you're over there, right there, I think. Wait, Lord, yeah, you're there. Welcome. It is Wednesday, perhaps December, near Christmas. So what I'm going to be doing is re-releasing a bunch of my old videos, and I will also watch those with you guys. And that'll be my gift to everyone, as most people know, about 3,000 videos under lock and key for a bunch of reasons. Not to do with me trying to withhold anything, but a lot of them might have had something in them that YouTube censors did not agree with. So, nonetheless, here I am. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over some of my old ones, and then I'll kind of take all of the information and repackage it the way that I talk today, which might be a little different than how I spoke on camera 4 years ago. Because I didn't get to do it live, and you guys didn't get to see me, and I didn't like the sound of my voice on camera. Now I just don't care. So here's me. Hello. For anybody that's new, welcome. And for people that are here, what's up, David Mannion? What's up, Carson? This one is interesting. This video that I want to touch on a bunch of things. Is the audio too loud with the speakers? Is it because we're gonna have to deal with a little bit of commercial on there, because I don't have any subscriptions to use on here other than I don't know. I don't have any audio programs that I can put in uncopyrightable shit. Put it that way. Anyways, and is the echo okay? Because it's a little empty in this room. So today there's a few things I want to address, and it is Pharmakeia, and perhaps what dictionaries online are doing, and I wanted to talk about the priestcraft, and that means Christianity, pagans, warlocks, magicians, your doctors. They're part of a priestcraft too, whether you know that or not. And ritualistic consumption of what you might call poison. Yeah. We might have to go outside in a second because they just finished all of their noise outside, and I am not enjoying the echo of my voice in here. It's like, have you ever been in an echo chamber? Understand that? It's kind of, I could get over it in a second, but I'm hearing myself in reverb, so it's causing me a little bit of a problem in my brain. As I'm talking, I'm hearing myself 3 times. So you guys might have to just give me a second to reconsider my locale. How much shit do I gotta get here? So anybody in the future, this is part of the beginning of the show. It's me getting situated. I don't have a cameraman. I don't have a secretary or anybody else that I should have, but I don't. Let me see. We'll work with this for a second. See if I can overcome the constant recycling of the words that I'm saying. No, I'm not gonna be able to do it. It's fucking me up too much. I'm sure some people in here that are musicians, you know about that reverb and how that's gonna fuck you up. So you're playing, so like, which one am I listening? Fuck. So let me let's go outside. What do you say? You want to join me? I'm gonna grab my speakers, and so you guys, we get a commercial break 5 minutes in. and we'll go find a more suitable location. But this show should be a fun one, because and what I was saying before was basically that this encompasses a lot of earlier shows I did, a lot of the ones that I'll be re-releasing soon, and it's addressing those things from a little bit of a different standpoint. Which should be fun. And the different standpoint as well is, well, my perspective of things, the larger understanding of things, and more correctly, well, not more correctly, but okay, I think that's everything. Oopsie. Hold on a second. Cool. There we go. Outside to the yard. Yeah, we'll go to a common location here. Is the general state of the world, and how media has everything the media has been doing, and pharmaceutical companies and religions, like where they are these days, because we've been assaulted with quite a bit of malarkey. Yeah, this is much better for me. I don't know about how's the audio for you guys. This is how the shit works, real time. What's up, Alexandra? What's up, Merp Merp? And yeah, that you talk about that reverb. Oh, it's the worst. You know, interestingly, I can deal with that a little bit. Like even listening to myself, I've learned to somehow quell that. But it takes too much focus, and I'm trying to relax the focus right now. I think I know what I'll do. And I think this is good too, sitting here for a second or two in the beginning of the video, not saying shit, waiting for people to show up. That way it's like, you start the show a few minutes late, so get the people pulling up the end of the coming in late to class. Although I must say, this is one of the first times I've actually shown up when I said I would, because I get excited about doing a show, and then I end up being involved in something else, or I miss the time by a couple minutes. So here I am on time, but not really, not set up perfectly yet. So let's get into the priestcraft and what really was the motivation for this. It was the word Pharmakeia. That was the motivation. And I had heard that, well, I've known what the word Pharmakeia meant for a very long time, because I've studied health, well-being, and all sorts of things to do with poisons and panacea. And I've obviously studied quite a bit to do with etymology, history of language, words, etc., etc. And it was a word that was very common to people. Pharmakeia is pharmaceutical, is, you know, it's the poison makers. It was rooted in the word, in the idea of poisons, and a physically giving somebody as a drug a poison. And lately, there's this really interesting thing that Christians do, and I'm trying to hit this from a few different angles. also an interesting thing that the internet does as well. So I go to look up, why are all of these Christian sites saying now the Pharmakeia, which has always been there, the pharmaceutical companies, they never said this before, up until these last couple of years of their supposed revelation, which they were talking about in the 90s and then the 2000s and 2010s, and now it's obviously so clear it's written in the Bible. We'll talk about that in a second. But they were saying the word Pharmakeia means sorcery. Now it has a connection to that, but it's the implementation of substance is the major reason. The major point of Pharmakeia is a poison maker. But now they want to say it's sorcery. So now they're claiming these doctors to be sorcerers, and the news media to be implementing a very similar chant to go along with, and they're not wrong, but what they're failing to realize is what these priestcrafts are. The medicine men, the media, the medicine, the media men, just like Hollywood is part of the medes and the media. There can be the good and the bad, the poison and the panacea, the black and the white. And the black magicians, the black occulted ones, and occulted is part of a cult and it's just hidden, but as soon as it's revealed, it's not occulted anymore. But people like to use the word occult, but once you can't use the word occult once people understand it. So what they don't understand is in church circles, in religions, they have priests. They're part of a priestcraft. They are also doing sorcery and magic, just like the pagans they hate, just like magic that they hate. And furthermore, they're now accepting that the people in the white robes, namely the scientists, are a priestcraft. Their priests in religion wear black robes, and see, it doesn't work out where black and white is good and bad anymore. This is a larger example of why I've tried to explain in the past about there's more than just black and white magic, and it doesn't mean what you think it does. Just like the left-hand path and black magic doesn't mean bad, and right-hand white magic doesn't mean good. So the priestcraft, so they're standing there as at their altar, because they're altering something, talking to the masses, talking to the mass. It's right there. They're standing there with their robe on in black. They're using the elements, the blood, the water. They're using the elements. They got the candle there. They're doing nothing different than the pagans are doing. But yet, the pagans were doing it individually. Now, you have as I'm adding that in there as another element to understanding priestcraft. There's not many people that aren't doing priestcraft work. Even everyone's doing it on a very small level. I mean, you go to the elementary school and you get taught spells, how to spell things. I mean, as soon as you start talking, you're creating that. So they're involved, whether they like it or not. But they try to say that they're not part of it, and that their priests are, that's holy. And their book is the right one. Their grimoire is the correct one. And as their priest stands there, across the aisle, we see the other priestcrafters, or the scientists. Now, scientists will say they have nothing to do with priestcraft. They have nothing to do with sorcery or anything to do with spiritual realms. They tend to be atheist, and they are all about the physical realm, and they want to deal with the religion of physicality, which is Julius Caesar's devil plane. It's like saying people are Satanists, right? Well, it means they're dealing with the physical objects. They're not dealing with the higher state of thinking, thought manifestation. But yet, here they are with their white robes on, and they have a stethoscope around their neck, and they hand you a white pill, which is in no way any different than the priest at the church with the black robe on, with the rosary around his neck, handing you a white wafer of Christ to take away your sins. It's exactly the same thing. The same thing is happening. But the more important part that I wanted to focus on is just the idea that now they're at least accepting. See, before a couple years ago, as this crazy thing is happening, they didn't accept or acknowledge that the scientific religion, scientism, and that was a priestcraft. They wouldn't see it that way. They would just say, no, they're wholly, completely part of, they're atheists and they're part of the... They didn't see it as another form of priest. And they don't see their own priests as priests. Now they've taken the word Pharmakeia, which had to do with a distribution of poisonous substance to damage people, to turn it into a form of sorcery, which it's at a second level it is. And they don't see what the media does, and how the media is colluded with science and religion. Everybody, all these religious folk, they say, hey, our country is founded on the Bible, founded on religion. But yet they hate the pagans. They don't want, they see them as some evil people talking to spirits, dealing with demonic entities. When in reality, who are they talking to? They're talking to gods and demigods and angels and archangels. What's the difference? So the Pharmakeia is now somehow the internet is now, if I type it in, because I want to look up what the word means, the first 10 to 20 things that I look up, it's always like a Bible concordance, or it doesn't quite get to the dictionary, and the dictionary still gives me a very altered version, and I would have never seen that. Like, if you look up the word Pharmakeia, it should show up as, how can I find out the root word of this in Greek, Latin, etc., etc., and it doesn't do that. Even in DuckDuckGo. So I'm like, what's the move there to put that information in front of people now? When clearly, and I know clearly without question, because I've looked it up and because it was like a fundamental thing that I studied and instructed and taught, was what the word and everything to do with the medical establishment was. I mean, I understood what the religious establishment was. It's the same thing in two different polarities, but it was never defined the way they're defining it these days. It's like almost bringing everything into the magical realm. So the videos that I didn't rewatch the videos yet. So I think what I'll do is I'll do a part 2 to this. We'll just chitty chat about whatever, and I'll fill in some blanks. But I want to rehash on the medes, the media, Hollywood, the priestcraft in all of those, the priestcraft in, and we'll further delve into the priestcraft in the pharmaceutical industry, and the religious indoctrination, and the differences pagans and witches claim to be such because they're working with the elementals and their mind and they're doing it themselves, which takes them away from relying on the book of the church or the book of the other fundamental religious dogmatic group of scientism. Science isn't a thing; it's a method. You can't just say science. Oh, because science says so. Science doesn't say shit. Science is a method to find scholarship, to deepen a wisdom and an insight. It's to come to a better conclusion. And maybe it ends up being truthful and honest and helpful. So, but there's hardly any hard science. Most of it is theoretical and dogmatic, and people go science, just like people go say religion. It's just as silly. One relies on taking theories from the past and books, and the other relies on groupthink. Science relies on groupthink. Well, if the democracy of the scientific community agrees on it, well, then it must be so. Yet that has nothing to do with the truth. It just means more. And if we really dig into it, it has nothing to do with, even though there's more, it has to do with who's getting paid to come up with those conclusions. You give a group of scientists, say, hey, I need the study to result in this, and it's $1 million on the table. Make the result say this. That's what they do. Has nothing to do with. They come up with the equation. They come up with the path to get to making the answer. Whoever pays, that's what they're doing. Well, I can make it look that way. Nobody's going after hard science. Nobody's going after doing it because they really want to know. Because if you really wanted to know, it'd be pretty easy to figure out that fluoride, you shouldn't be drinking it. Here, I'll give you a tablespoon. Let me know how that works out for you. So you wouldn't come to the conclusion. Maybe that might help if we just a tablespoon. Oh, so if I give you a tablespoon now, that's that I definitely do a number on melting your face off. But if I give you just a little drip here, a little drip there, that'll be fine. You'll have a tablespoon over the course of a little while. Don't worry about it. How silly that is. But yeah, people believe it. Why? Well, there was scientific backing for it. Why was there scientific backing for it? Somebody paid for it. No one would think about coming to the conclusion or think about making a study for a reason to poison people. I mean, and the whole religion thing, I don't see how they can't see this absolute similarity. And it's not even a similarity, it's the same thing. The idea that there's how many different books, how many different alterations, how many different religious groups, and they've all come up with different formulas to come to a conclusion. Different formulas, just like science does. It's a bunch of different formulas. They figure that out. Here's a different formula. The science is settled, the scientism is unsettling. Yeah, right. The science is it's just like you can't say thug religion. You can say it's like in life there is a path and a journey. Everybody is pretty certain of the destination. Well, at least for part of it. You're pretty certain of that. Like, oh, tell me there's a path to there. Yeah, you ask 100 people, they have 100 different paths to get to the destination. It's not the same one. Science is settled. don't know. It's quite a conundrum my question is always this: if you get rid of the plate or the basket in church, and you get rid of funding these institutions, how much of this religion and science shit, garbage, crap goes away? How many times do we have the same question, but we'll actually get a better answer? You can easily find somebody with a slippery, slick tongue to say something, to grease someone's palm, to get some money, to make someone believe something that just is categorically false. Take that away and see what the result is. See what you'd learn. See what do you think in a tribe anybody's trying to get over on the whole thing? No, it's a unit. It wouldn't be, the whole point would be to make it stronger, not to weaken it. Yet we live in this whole thing that every religion weakens every other. Every scientific community destroys the other, all because of some sort of system of trade and bartering that has been leveraged by interest, inflation, and income tax, thereby causing the rich always to be richer and the poor always to be poorer, thereby not only taking away from them in the physical and wealth realm, but like it gives them trouble being here. Just the destroys families, destroys things. So get rid of the money and see what science says. See what religion says. It would change instantaneously. Holy shit, Danny Skylark's alive. Thought she was dead. I didn't even know you existed anymore. What's up, Danny Skylark? So how's everybody's day going? How's the weather where you are? It's like 70 something here. It's pretty nice. Pretty nice. Holiday weather. Oh, nice. So this is just your avatar through the digital media devices. Carson, are you kidding? For real? That's awesome. The infrastructure of New Orleans is pretty awesome. There's like water mains broken everywhere. There's streets that collapse. Like it's not just a little bit. It's a lot bit. Hey, the whole world is collapsing, man. Awesome. Fun times, huh? Trash cans and 100-mile-an-hour wind still roofing. That's, I mean, I get it. Sometimes you got to work through the bullshit, but I mean, the roof is going to get ripped off anyways, huh?
The better the question, the better the answer. The better your works. Consulting at Eagle, you'll find the help you need to strategically move your business forward through reliability, flexibility, and cybersecurity. Click at the banner below to find out.
Man, I don't know if I deal with middle of nowhere windstorms. There's nothing good about those. I mean, yeah, obviously down here we get some crazy wind events, but usually if you're like in the middle of nowhere, it's like Trailer Park City, and that's not gonna last. And that's Dan Winter's work. He talks about like how wind, there's a certain charge that like it's finding that there is a fracture in the realm based on aluminum and certain metals and things, and that the wind is going and basically destroying that because it shouldn't be there. So it's finding things that are cohesive to the implosive charge and energy of a place, and so it's all of these things. They're all of these. Why do all of these houses, mobile homes and shit get knocked over? And it's, well, obviously there's no ground, so it's electrically not cohesive, and on top of it, it's made from aluminum, which is again fucking up the entire environment. So the wind finds its way there. It's like, I mean, obviously most weather phenomenon is somewhat altered and pushed at least somewhat by man. But if you'd ever seen Dan Winter's work on, you could probably look up tornadoes and trailer parks of Dan Winter, and it's, obviously I'm explaining like a fucking retard, but of course it's 33. Welcome. What up, bro? Yeah, it's interesting not being in cold weather during Christmas holiday. Usually seasonally provides you a little understanding of, oh, is there a holiday coming up? And it's like 2 weeks away or something. Is it the 15th? It's like 10 days or some shit. Crazy. I was like, sit out here. I could have a t-shirt and shorts. I just was dressing up kind of to go out to public, but I kind of putting that on the back burner. Yeah, moving to the tropicals. Well, yeah, Aaron Colburn. Yeah. I mean, the wind is the air. Sure. Yeah, I don't know where you're going with this, like in the sense of, yeah, just go check out Dan Winter stuff. I don't know where you're going with like the wind, air, shit around you. But like there is something that occurs of in the plasma, in what we'd call the air, the ether, that causes, like you see a little tornado, wind tornado. Like, I don't think that's happening because of some shit out there. It's like, oh, look at a little wind tornado. There's maybe some heat over here, some cold air, and there's like a, that over there I'm putting heat because they're working on something and it's building a bunch of heat. And over here there's a drying machine that's kicking out cold air, and all of a sudden it makes a little tornado. Not that it can't be done man-made on purpose, but it's, he gets into implosive technology and some weird shit. What's up, Fire Drake? What's up, Christopher Lely? You're the 8th air? Is it windy here? A little bit, not really. I mean, yeah, you can kind of see it right there. Maybe like 12 miles an hour. Eat the air. Did you say ear the air or eat the air? Yeah, basically. mean, that's what you should be doing anyways, right? Well, yeah, but Christopher. Well, now it's just more fun to say. I call you Christopher Lely. What's up, Diffracted Bear? It is. It's like a knockoff Cuban, but for the cost. Oh yeah, man. Like some people, like they're too snobby about their wine and their cigars. I don't need a good label. It's a really good cigar. Like I would get this over like a Rocky Patel. I mean, if you're into cigars, like this to me is better than a Rocky Patel. Yeah, it's better than. It's not quite as good as a Monte Cristo. It's not quite as good like a Romeo. It's on level with a Romeo. So this is it's a $4 rather than paying 12. Fire Drake. Yeah, man. Oh man, when you got me the Mapacho, dude, that was I smoked through that. That was awesome. I really liked it. I'm sure I told you about it, but the next day I always felt like more balanced. Like I like smoking it. I don't like. I couldn't inhale this. I would fucking puke. But I could inhale that for some reason. And like heavy duty inhale it. And I was like, ah. And so you said the ayahuasca herbs. So you're just smoking it just to get a little high. You're not going to fucking another realm with that shit, right? Changa? Yeah, I'm not familiar with it. Well, to say it's got DMT is kind of redundant, right? I mean, what plant life can't you extract DMT out of it? I mean, isn't it basically in everything? I mean, just the amount that you get like anything green, right? Isn't that about the size of it? Yeah, I was figuring it was for the synergistic effects and not to like blast off into next Thursday. What's up, Afro Man? I suppose. Hey, if you want to be the first to go try to smoke a bunch of mayonnaise or eat enough mayonnaise to get high off it, let me know. see if you survive that without getting some clogged arteries and a heart attack.
In the apartment above, an extra place is set for a surprise plus one. Next door, one generation passes down the secret family recipe to the next.
Yeah, Christopher Lely, that's not the same Christopher Lee. That's a whole new Christopher. That's Christopher Lely. Or it could be Christopher Lee squared. Work with that.
Except it's smooth with its permanent frown. The taste of a palate of wine touches your soul without doubt. When your workout's a joy, it's a joy to work out. The original palate of wine is the best price ever. $3 a month. Or access membership separate. Terms apply. See website for details.
With the new Sapphire Preferred card, you now earn 5 times total points on travel purchase purchase.
So, like to Miami?
Yeah,
What about the outer limits of Joshua Tree?
there too. And you also earn 3 times points on dining worldwide.
Wait, even on hard to get reservations?
Again,
What about, I don't know, get your own dinner shop?
I'll take you. Your same getaways.
Hey, if anybody has a hold on a second. Somebody else, if somebody ever wants to share with me their account for Spotify, if you got a Spotify or a here, if somebody wants to give me a Christmas gift, share with me your Spotify or some other account for music, because I gotta listen to fucking 5 minutes of commercial breaks. I don't need all that in my life. Every 3 songs. It'll cost you nothing. Just gonna share your account with me. Aaron Colburn, how often do I shower in the waters? You mean like go in the Mississippi? I mean, I'll go get my feet in there and fuck around. I'm not going crazy like the river rats, man. I mean, those are super crazy crackheads, man. Jumping in there like, yeah, I'm sure I've been in there on a hot day, but not as a general rule. No way. It's not. There's too much undertow, too much current. I ain't playing that game. Especially where I am, because we're right in this little, where it is on the embankment. It's not a good area. I could go to somewhere else and go in the water easily, but catnip, California ploppy. I'm poppy. I never heard of smoking the poppy seeds. It probably just tastes all weird, huh? I mean, I've heard that anything coming from the U.S. has been washed anyway, so it's kind of worthless, huh? You got to get it from somewhere else and find something that hasn't been washed, which is, you got to find like international stores and shit. Okay. That's a bit sedating. Oh, chaga is a mixture of herbs. Okay. Okay. Blue lotus. I see that. Skull cap is like kind of a sedative. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I have some blue lotus at the house and some. Interesting. So a lot of very, very sedative things, and then. Yeah, I have lion's tail, but I have it as a ground herb for like making a tea for a different reason. And then I got some, yeah, we got lion's mane, lion's tail, and the lion's. What else you got? Lion's mane, lion's tail, lion's paw. Lion's testicles, delicious. Char-broiled lion's testicles. Lion's Heart. Wasn't that a movie? Lionheart or whatever? No, it was Braveheart. I'm sure Lionheart is a movie. Fire Jake, what do you do but just like hang out in the forest and get high? Like my I mean, I'm sure I've asked you before, but like when I think about you, I'm like, I just assume you have like a small cabin and just go out and play bongos and sing with squirrels and do a bunch of drugs and. Yeah, I know, right? Diffracted. Christian Slater. That's got to be what, like 80s movie then? 80s, 90s? Yeah, it's. I mean, was he really in anything good ever? I mean, that was that good. That was that really good. I don't know. There's a lot of things that you look back on. You're like, oh, there's just some sort of reminiscence for a lot of movies, but you know, when you sit them against other shit, you're just kind of like, no, that's just not it. A lot of those actors from that era, they just for some reason just keep making movies. Fuck it. People are gonna watch them. Kokomaka. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, maca goes really well with hot chocolate. True romance. It's been a long time since I seen that. You know what? He always reminded me of, like, there's got to be 100% that's just Jack Nicholson's kid. I know he does like a whole. He can do like this, his voice and his sound, but in every way that's him. They probably had a Hollywood, giant orgy, and the fuck fest turned into that baby popping out, and that's his. Maka maka. Maka waka waka. Maka laka yahi maka hiney ho. What do you say? Maka laka hi maka hiney ho. Oh. What time are we looking at here? I might have to jet for a minute and take care of a couple things. Yeah. It is 3. Well, check it out, y'all. It's been fun. It's good to see you. It's 3 o'clock. I got a couple things to take care of, and I'll try to get. Oh yeah, there we go. The Fire Drake. Those are all good together. I'll try to get back on here a little later today, and I'll have a little more preparation. Well, you got here a little late, Maloney persona. Good to see you. I'm just dipping out of here. But I will remind everybody, it is the holiday season. So if you do feel so inspired, and you got deep pocketbooks or a couple coins, feel free. CashApp, PayPal, Venmo. It's in the description box. You can feel free to donate to me so I can pay for this wonderful establishment and stand here. Also, take care of yourself, because you're more important than anyone. And then take care of others when you can. Be weird and, do some crazy shit. Enjoy yourself. And we'll talk soon. I'll probably see you in like 2 or 3 hours. Bye.